All right, and we're live, nigga. That's getting edited out. Yeah,
Dude, we're off to a great start.
it's a great start, gentlemen. We had a crazy week. Well, underwhelming week, should I say, of wrestling over
Define
the weekend.
define underwhelming.
Underwhelming, as in like NXT was pretty peak, right? But then
Hmm.
Mania happened. I don't know what happened. Like, to give it to you guys in like a, let's say, how do I say this in words? It's short. Like if you don't watch it right, the best way I can describe it as night one felt like a glorified like random Raw or SmackDown, except for the main event. And night two was like a complete reverse, where the rest of the card actually seemed like a pay per view, but the main event sucked. All right, gentlemen, let's start with the good part of Saturday. We're I'm not gonna lie, I did not watch that pre-show, so we're not covering it.
That's
I
fine.
didn't think so.
We're off
Edit
to a
it
great
out.
start, dude. All right, so the first match, the NXT North American Championship between the current champion Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, or as I'm going to call it because everyone and their mama on Twitter likes to bash AEW so much, the Battle of the ex AEW guys.
Tony fumbled.
All right, I'm not. So the match was fine. I'm not gonna lie. It was decent. It was a decent little match. No, pretty. I mean, it's whatever. Ricky retained the championship. Cool. Whatever. I don't know. I just feel like it was just a pretty average match.
Yep.
Nothing offensive to start the pay per view. What you fellas think?
Yeah, it was. I thought it wasn't bad. There were some high points in it though. There were
Yeah.
some good moves, but other than that, it was just an okay match. I really didn't. There was no stakes on the line for me.
I mean, the hometown hero won in Ricky Saints, so that's always a good match for me.
How can he be the hometown hero if they were all in Vegas, bro?
Dude, he's from my hometown. He's my hometown hero.
I don't know,
There
man.
we go.
The dude said he was in New Orleans. I mean,
I
right.
mean,
Moving on. So, fellas,
he's
we
my
have.
hometown hero, Brian. It's okay.
So the next match we had the Hank and Tank defeating the Fraxium actually in this tag match, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect the Hank and Tank to just win like that. I genuinely thought they were gonna like keep this little Fraxium streak going because of honestly how great their chemistry is with just seemingly everyone. I kind of feel like this is like the beginning of the end for Fraxium. Someone either they're gonna get called up or they're gonna try and just develop this even further, and someone's turning here. What's the general consensus here, boys?
I have an idea for what they might do with Fraxium, but it's gonna have to tie into the Raw after Mania when we get to that point.
It was. I didn't catch this match, so I'm not really sure. But I have to say, Fraxium is really good. I like them, so I hope they're going on to get better onto a better deal. Maybe they are going to get called up because they did drop the title.
See, I'm not gonna lie. What worries me about people getting called up is like it's always a coin toss. It's like it's either you're gonna start off pretty good or you're gonna start off like Carmelo. You know what I'm saying?
You're either gonna get the Braun Breaker or the Carmelo Hayes.
It's
It is true.
uh,
There's a
my
lot of storylines going on. They might just hold him back in NXT.
I'm okay with that.
my other shtick is like I don't mean to be like one of those people that like just like that's like bad like sympathetic for Carmelo, but I don't know something about him winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that doesn't really tend to like it's never really led to a good path afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, Cesaro. Look where he's at, AEW. Baron Corbin, where is he at? Not even the company. It should,
I mean, counter argument there. Jey Uso won it like a few years ago, didn't he? And look where he's at now. He won the title of Mania, dude.
It's true.
okay,
He's our
but
new heavyweight champion.
can
It's
you
true.
argue that he won it based off of popularity versus like
I
you
mean,
know?
an argument could be made that he won it based off popularity and the merch sales. Yeah, but bro was a 0 for 3 against Gunther. Like, I wasn't expecting anything really crazy to happen, but he won, so it happened.
True that.
But
True
I
that.
definitely think Fraxium, whatever they're gonna do with Fraxium, as long as they don't split him up, I'm okay with it. If they want to take the mask off of him, that's understandable. I would prefer it on because I mean, we all know. Sorry, spoiler alert. He's a kid. If you didn't know.
Oh my gosh, he
I
is.
legitimately
No way.
did not know that. I legitimately
Oh
didn't know
wait,
that.
wait,
I've
really?
only
Alright,
ever
edit that
known him
out.
as Axiom.
But yeah, so Axiom, as long as they keep the mask on him, because I don't know who he is under that mask, but regardless, he's an outstanding wrestler either way. And Nathan Frazier, he's a mini Seth Rollins. I mean, he was trained by Seth Rollins, and there's a lot of Seth Rollins in his wrestling style. So
Both are
either
very
way, he's gonna be
talented.
fun. Very talented wrestlers.
I mean,
I think we
you
should.
saw how they could perform by themselves when they got pulled up to the main roster on SmackDown that one night when Axiom took on Gunther. Like, he performed. He may have gotten squashed, but he performed. He put up a fight.
And when Nathan Frazier went against Ray Phoenix, dude, they were going crazy. I was really impressed.
They
Yeah.
both have proven how good they are.
They fly around that ring, and it's really entertaining to watch them.
They're doing all the flippy stuff that
Edit that out right now. We are not doing this.
all right,
Let's move on
I'm
to that next match, ladies
All
and
right,
gentlemen.
I'm
No,
all right, all right.
let's take it a step back. We haven't talked about Hank and Tank though. Like, they
That's
both
right.
deserve this. Like, they won
Dude.
this title. Like, we talked about the losers. We got to talk about the winners, guys.
You're
They
right.
Right.
earned
You have a
this.
good point.
I've liked them for a while. They are very talented and very funny in my opinion.
So, like,
I
who do
have
we
seen
think their
clips of
first
them
shot is going to
online.
be?
I have no idea, actually.
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't know. We'll have
That's
to
what.
see.
That's one thing I can say about the NXT tag division. The division, like on first glance, like if you're a brand new viewer, you're just like, okay, I know like absolutely nothing about it. Like these guys can actually cook. I can't lie.
Yeah. That was my first time actually watching them wrestle. I'd seen clips of them online just doing stuff backstage, but my first impression of them actually wrestling was these dude. I mean, they were keeping up with Fraxon. They were going crazy with him. And when dude decided to just launch himself onto that announce table, I was like, "Damn,
I'm not.
dude can really fly like that."
I thought he
That really
died.
caught me off guard,
I thought he died. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all, bro.
dude. It was impressive. If I was me, I think I would have actually died there. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like a good matchup would be Gallus. I don't know. I maybe it's just because I'm just a personal fan of Gallus, but them and Hanky Take could actually throw down for real. I feel like that'll be like a real nice mix of just powerhouse strikes and such. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it is always nice to combine like the different types of matchup or team dynamics, like big brutes versus like speed guys, and that was basically what this match was. It was really cool.
Do you have any more thoughts?
That's it for me on that one. I thought they had a great match. I liked how they ended it. Their finisher was funny to me. I like the belly to belly.
That was pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, gentlemen. The next match, we have Sol Ruka as our new women's North American champion, defeating Thea Hale, Lola Vice, Kilani Jordan, Izzy Dame, and Zarya in a ladder match. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what Sean Spears and them was just doing, just chilling outside the ring, just like the whole second half of the match, brother.
Dude,
They
this was my match of the weekend, bro. It was
really.
awesome. That was my match of sorry, that was my match of NXT
Oh, okay. I was gonna
because
say.
yeah, dude, my girl Soruka, she climbed that ladder. She won that title, dude. I was happy. She's the double champion right now.
Uh,
A lot of double champions this weekend, though.
Yeah, there
You need to
was.
bring that up. They had
Yeah.
a lot this weekend.
Okay, but like, do we really recognize WWE speed? Like, we don't see it on like actual television, you know?
I mean, that
I'm,
is true.
I'm sorry,
but
the
it's
Twitter
still
champion.
a title.
Yeah, but it's like, when have we
I
ever
mean-
seen it on TV though? Like, we don't see it. I ain't never seen that joint on a Raw or SmackDown. Definitely ain't no damn pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry, PLE.
I mean, just because they don't bring it out doesn't mean it's not an active championship, though.
I mean, that's true. It's just like, to me, it's just a little weird because they never really acknowledge it unless it's on Twitter, you know?
Acknowledge
Yeah,
me.
All
but I
right,
mean,
dude.
why would they acknowledge it if it? Why would they acknowledge the AEW belt if it's on WWE? It's the same kind of thing. It's a different. It's for a different kind of brand.
All right, gentlemen. Next match, we had the D'Angelo family versus Dark State. The Shield.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Retribution. I'm sorry. Dark State. My fault. My fault. I'm
Dude,
not
are you
gonna lie.
okay? Do you have something in your throat, dude?
No, no, no. Of course not. Of course not, brother.
All right, I'm
It
just
was just a
checking on
simple
you. All
cough.
right,
Just a simple cough.
I got
I'm
you.
gonna be honest. Dark State kind of impresses me. To be honest, the presentation at first ve- very Shield esque to me. Like upon first debut, I was just like, I don't know
Oh,
what this is. I don't really care.
absolutely.
You know.
They were
Yeah,
basically Shield 2.0 with that entrance.
No, it felt like they were trying to do a. It feels like a mix of the Shield and Retribution, except not as cringy with the names. You know.
Retribution had such a. They could have done so much more, and I really hate that stained Mustafa Ali's name. But that's for another video.
That's a rant video ready to be unleashed, dude.
But I think the match was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I did not see that. Granted, I don't watch NXT every week, but I do pay attention to some of the storylines.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing Stacks turn on Tony D was kind of crazy because I mean I still remember watching when Stacks had to go crazy to bring this man out of jail. I think that was the storyline that they were doing some time ago, and just to see the whole arc play out where he betrayed Tony D like that, and I'm like, wow. But I also saw some rumblings that Tony D could be moved up to the main roster soon, which I
I
don't
hope.
know how I feel about it.
I hope he's such a powerhouse. I mean, we all saw that Obafemi v Tony D'Angelo fight. Like, it was amazing. It was
It was.
top notch. They were body slamming each other, suplexing each other. His background in Greco-Roman wrestling really helps him in NXT, in my opinion.
It really does. And I'm glad he's got a strong back because, dude, he carries that shit a lot.
Absolutely.
So let me
See-
ask y'all this: after what transpired with the whole turn and Dark State just winning, because I'm keeping it real. I genuinely feel like Dark State was gonna win. I feel like it's way too early in their presentation to just start losing left and right. Otherwise, you've already failed the faction. I feel like it'll be a hot minute before they take like their first meaningful loss. What do you think happens to the D'Angelo family from here?
I'm not
Well-
sure. They might stay together for a bit, but we could be seeing the end of a very big faction in NXT. I mean, they were the Heritage Cup champions for so long. It would be a shame to see them go.
I mean, if Tony D gets moved up to the main roster and Stacks could start a solo career, I forgot the other guy's name, but I know he
Luca?
was in Luca. Yes, Luca. He was also in Evolve, wasn't he? So
I saw him a little bit in Evolve. Who knows? He could be starting his solo career as well.
And props to him.
I'm just saying.
I wish him luck in the future.
I cannot wait to add a picture of a completely different Luca.
Luca, come back to Dallas. We miss
Just
you.
as a gag.
Oh, it's gonna be so funny.
Oh, I can't wait, bro. Gentlemen, next match we had our fatal four-way, the NXT Women's Championship between current champion Stephanie McCure, Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. I thought it was decent. I was a little disappointed in Jada Parker's performance. I felt like they kind of just gave her the short end of the stick. It didn't really feel like she had much time to shine compared to Julia, Stephanie, which are already like the established outside WWE names, and then there's Jordan Grace, who's still like relatively new in the field, very established in TNA, being the one that defeated Naomi for the Knockout Championship and all. I don't know. I mean, overall, I thought it was a good match. I just really feel like, what do you do with certain characters from here? I mean, with Stephanie and Julia, that's already set in stone. Jordan losing the championship this early, I mean, granted, it's kind of a given if you're already flung into the to like a big girl championship match like at fairly early into a new business career without some sort of like money in the bank situation. Because I mean, Tiffany Stratton's like the one exception, I guess. I just don't know what you could do with both Jordan and Jada at this point in time. You know.
I went into this match. You know I'm sure you'll have seen it where it's like the Hydra or whatever creature it is that has like the multi heads and like two or three of the heads are very serious and the other one's kind of goofy looking. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
No offense to anyone in that I am about to talk about, but how I see it is the three serious heads are Stephanie, Julia, and Jordan, and the kind of goofy one is Jada Parker. And I mean this in the way that the three serious ones have a lot more experience. They've been around the block. They're some of the best. I mean, there's a reason that the NXT Women's Division is the best in the world. But Jada Parker is still a lot newer to the game than they are. And so I mean, give Jada Parker some more time, and she's gonna shine because she has that star factor, and the way that she can the fans love her. But I definitely think that this was the perfect way to because you don't want Jordan Grace to lose being on the roster as new as she is. So having her lose in a fatal 4-way match looks better than losing in an individual one-on-one match. And she's gonna get her time with the titles. I mean, granted, she could have gone straight up to the main roster and been fine, but having her in that developmental time period in NXT is gonna go a long way with her, I feel like.
But moving on from that, gentlemen, we have our NXT Stand and Deliver main event. We got
banger after banger after banger, dude.
I'm gonna try and keep my hype to a very reasonable level because I don't want to slip some words out. We have Oba Femi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. Dog, dude. I thought people was gonna die. That match was crazy.
Absolutely, it was so fucking good.
I'm not gonna say it was the best NXT match I've ever seen because I mean I've clearly liked more, but for a triple threat standpoint, that was pretty peak, pretty damn peak.
I have enjoyed all of Obafemi's title reigns and title matches, dude. Every time, and I'm like, he really is this unstoppable monster where you can put him in a 3-on-1 handicap match, and I still would put money down that he's gonna win. And every time,
he is just a pure just monster, a genetic freak. Like watching him throw people, like pick them up above his head and throw them is insane. Like
that's not the light people too. He does that to the big guys as well, and it's really crazy.
We've seen him do it to Tony D'Angelo, who's not a small guy.
We've also who was the one in Dallas? Joe Coffey. Well, we saw him do it to Joe Coffey as well, and that's a big boy.
Mm-hmm. He is a freak.
As a side note, during the match, I thought the biggest highlight was when Trick tried to pin Javon Evans, but the Oba caught the ref by his legs, and the ref was fighting for his life. They proceeded to actually mule kick Oba off of him to go for the crowd.
Dude.
Yeah, he's got more balls than me,
dude. That ref, he's going places, brother.
I don't know if Elba ever catches him, dude. I don't know, but he might be going to someplace. I don't know.
Just find a new ref for that one.
Might be 6 feet under, big dog.
Dude, it was so good. I loved every second of that.
But Javon Evans is super talented. I mean, that boy is bouncy, dude. And seeing him fly around the ring, just doing stuff, and as young as he is, he's going to have a very decorated career ahead of him. I just know it.
And he put up a very good fight against Obafemi and Trick Williams, both out of his weight class. He really performed that night. There was times I thought he was going to win the whole match, and he was going to take it home.
And props to Trick Williams, too. That boy, he was going crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Trick's one of my favorites. I love watching Trick. He's such a good wrestler.
This Trick crash out is actually generational. What if he's actually the leader of Dark State Dog?
I wouldn't complain, honestly. That would be pretty fire. Because I don't want to see him get called up to the main roster and have them do nothing with him. So keep him on NXT for as long as you can.
I
We
just
don't want
don't
him to
want.
become like his predator, Carmelo Hayes, who is just being forgotten in in the main roster right now.
True that. True
All right,
that. You're right.
are
You're
y'all
right.
ready to move on to WrestleMania?
Oh
I am.
boy, Mania.
All right, let's start off with night one. All right.
Okay, but before we talk about the actual match, can we just have established that no matter who was walking out the winner, people were just gonna be mad regardless, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Every one of
yeah.
these
No, there's no.
matchups, there was going
Yeah.
to be unhappy campers on
Like,
every match.
I'm just thinking of thinking about the premise, right? You have Jey Uso, right? Who's if we're talking in story, in story from the past, from 2020 to now, right? He's had quite the character development. He was just another Uso, like another tag team player, bruh. And then we just
Mhm.
have, and then it come the beginning of the Tribal Chief arc. Then we just see actual character development where it's like, yeah, Jey Uso's still a tag guy, but he's putting up the work. He can actually go in singles, right? And then everyone's like, yo, let's give Jay a singles push. We get a Jay singles push, and what happens? Oh,
Main
why did
event
he?
Jey Uso.
Right, and everyone was happy. We were hunky dory. We were vibing. Then he won the Rumble, and then it maybe because John Cena didn't say he was retiring this year, but I promise you, people will not be complaining anywhere near as much if he eliminated Cena. I'm just saying.
I mean, going back to like how I would have booked WrestleMania, I still would have had John Cena win the Rumble because either way he was gonna go against Cody. But
No,
I would have rather the fucking John Cena versus Gunther. That would have been fire. I would have been seated the entire time because seeing Super Cena go against Gunther would have been cinema in my opinion. But that's not what happened. Hopefully we get to see that on his final run. But
this
I
whole
don't know,
build up.
man. Cena's kind of looking gassed. I mean, that night two main event was not very good for him. And even before his like other matches before that with CM Punk, he was kind of gassed in that one too. I don't know if he could keep up with Gunther.
that's why I think I'm like I think it would probably be it wouldn't be a very long match, but it would be hard hitting, and that's why I'm also kind of nervous about the spoiler alert for Raw. Randy versus Gunther. I mean, Randy versus Cena at Backlash, because Randy can still go. I mean, Randy is still in very good shape. Some would say the best shape of his career, and Cena, he's lost a step. He said it himself in the interview the other day, and I want the match to be good, but I don't think it's going to be as good as we're all hoping it's going to be.
Man, this whole build up just stinked, man. Because prior to Mania, wasn't Jay already like 0-2 against Gunther? Like I know for I
0-3.
remember 0-3 because
Yep.
I know for a fact I remember he lost that Saturday night's main event, and I was just like this was okay, cool. And I remember the Rumble happened. I was very I don't know what the word. I was very
Conflicted.
skeptical. Conflicted, yes, that's a very much better word. I was very conflicted because, okay, what is this, like 4 times the charm type of situation? Like, now you beat her, right? Because that's how it goes. This is, we saw the script ahead of time, gentlemen. That's all it was. This match was so painfully average, I'm not going to lie to you. I
Let's be
genuinely feel
real.
like their Saturday night's main event match was either slightly better or just like as on par as this actual match. And I have.
Let's be real, dude. We knew Jey Uso was gonna win the title. I was holding out hope that Gunther was gonna be like, you know what, I'm going to business for myself. No, you're not beating me, but it happened. And I mean, I am happy for Jay because he does deserve it. I do hope Jimmy gets similar opportunities for his solo career too, because Jimmy is just as talented as Jay is.
He's gonna
And
show up to work though.
true, but
I feel like what just really annoyed me was this match, and very similar to the main event tonight too was the finish. I really feel like that's what like really got a lot of people too. Like it was one thing with the match, it was just the finish is what like really drove most people over the edge.
Ryan, we're not there yet. You're getting ahead of yourself. We're not there yet. We haven't even gotten a match 2 of WrestleMania of Night
I'm
1.
talking.
dude.
I'm talking about.
A little bit
I'm
of a
talking about the
project.
ending of Gunther and Jay.
Oh, okay.
You know,
No, sorry.
the one where Gunther genuinely tapped out to Jey Uso. Jey Uso, you know.
Hey,
Look,
Jey
I
Uso
love.
used
I
his
love.
own-
Hold on.
got
I
his
love.
own move.
I'm sorry. I love Jey Uso. That's my boy. I acknowledge Jey Uso as my tribal chief during like that whole Sammy debacle in the Bloodline story, right?
Yeah.
But we're talking about the same. We're talking about the same Gunther that beat Randy Orton clean at King of the Ring for the World Championship. You lose to Jey Uso to your own move, brother.
We are also talking about the same Gunther that, granted, name change aside, was the longest NXT UK champion. Was one of the has the longest IC title championships, an absolute banger of an IC title run. And his world champ or world heavyweight championship run wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be, but it was still a decent run. But I mean, if you don't get put in submissions that often, they're gonna catch you off guard, and I think that's what happened with Gunther, because he's always the one that's dominating most of the matches. I mean, other people are gonna get their licks in, but he doesn't get put in submissions very often.
This is
I-
very
I-
true.
I hear you and I understand you, but to me, when thinking about WrestleMania 40 with Sammy, right? Where this man had to genuinely bust out a whole brain buster on the top buckle versus a submission that you tap out in 5 seconds, and it didn't feel like yeah, there was some damage to you. You know, you had like the 3 splashes, the super kicks, the whatever spear, right? I don't know. I just feel like I just feel like the ending could have been slightly tweaked. You know.
Yeah, but I mean,
I get where you're coming from, but we could also look at it from a story standpoint. I mean, we got to think how Gunther is. He's very egotistical. He's very prideful of himself. He gets put in
Absolutely.
his own move. He's not going to get choked out by Jey Uso. He's going to tap out of that as quickly as possible. He may lose the title now, but he may come back for it in a little bit. He still hasn't done his rematch yet. That's still in the future, maybe.
Are we ready to talk about the next match? We've been on this one for a hollow minute.
I don't have a lot to say about this match. I think this was the War Raiders WrestleMania debut, and they had my boys looking. They could have looked so fire, dude.
Had my
But
boys looking goofy as hell.
they had my boys looking dumb as hell. I love the War Raiders. I loved them back when they were the Viking Raiders, dude.
dude.
Big fans of them. And no, they had to make them lose to the New Day, which I understand. I get it.
It was
but
gonna happen, but when you look at the certain matches, the TLC match happening, there's just a clear, noticeable, more money making one, in my humble opinion.
But also at the same time, the New Day has been around a lot longer than the Street Profits. And they are one of the most decorated tag teams, I'd say in all of wrestling, but certainly in WWE history. I mean, that group, faction, tag team, whichever one, Kofi and Xavier's champ, and whoever else is champion, if you put Big E in there too. I understand why they were picked over Street Profits for WrestleMania, but still, I think the match could have been a lot better.
It's true. I have not been a big fan of what the New Day story so far with their heel turn. So it would be nice to see them in a better storyline here coming up now that they have the titles back. So I'm optimistic about them winning the titles.
Okay, but the problem
something
is, I think the Raw division, the Raw tag division, has is on its own. It's just like compared to SmackDown, like, what do you really even have?
We have American Made. All right, we have Alpha Academy. I think
Alpha
A-Town Down
Academy a
Under's over there.
chance.
Dude, for real, give my boy Otis and Tozawa a title. We have the Creed brothers. I still would love to see a Creed brothers title run. Who else do we have
Aren't
on?
the Creed brothers in American Made?
Yeah, but still, they're still the Creed brothers.
You just mentioned them twice, basically.
I mean, the American Made is the faction that involves Chad Gable, Ivy Nile, and the Creed brothers.
With
The Creed
honorary
brothers
member
themselves,
El Grande Americano.
he has no relation to that
true.
group.
I don't know, man. He seems to have. Wait, what?
Does he have no relation to them as he's wearing their logos?
That's it.
The literal sign says "American made" at the top of his mask.
There's no relation. He's a big fan.
He's just the Uncle Ruckus of the group.
But you also have the Judgment Day. Now that JD McDonough's back, I mean, I don't know what's gonna be going on with them in the future, with Dom and Finn.
Exactly
But I
what's
mean,
gonna be happening in the future, bro.
I know,
Give
but
Carlito
still.
and JD the belts, or the tag team belts. Carlito
Wait,
needs it.
Yo,
He's been getting
hold on.
speared left and right by fucking Braun Breaker. Give him some reward for that. Died twice in less than 2 weeks to Braun Breaker.
But I mean, we also have the LWO. I mean, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde go nuts with every single time that they are given a chance in the ring. I would love to see them win the titles because I am a big fan of Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. Joaquin flies in that ring off the ropes and everything, dude. And yeah.
And plus, they've been feuding with the New Day recently, so it could work out into a storyline.
Trying to think, who else do we have? We have New Catch Republic. I'm a big fan of Tyler Bate, big strong boy, and my boy Pete Dunne, formerly known as Butch. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it, Pete Dunne. We'd love to have you on the pod one day.
He's gonna.
And then
they're gonna watch this and cringe, brother.
yeah, it's
Love
fun.
to have Butch.
Okay.
He's gonna break your fingers, big dog.
He's gonna give you that look. He's gonna give you that Ice Cube look, bro.
Hey man, if it gets him on the podcast, I'll let him break my fingers.
Props to you. I could never.
I'll sell that,
bro.
But overall, like that's exactly what I expected from the match. I wasn't expecting anything crazy. So yeah. Now the next match, that was one of my hopeful matches for the whole WrestleMania because I've been loving the build going up for Jade Cargill and Naomi because that was, I mean, I think that was the first ever women's title match. I mean, women's match at WrestleMania that wasn't for a title. So I mean, they put in the work to get that done. Yeah, I'm like they put in the work for that, and I'm very proud of both of them because Jade Cargill has come a long way in her short time in WWE, and Naomi, one of the best ever. They tore the house down. I'm very proud of them.
I just feel like just to progress the story because I genuinely don't know what you could do now unless you just throw random stuff to keep it going. I feel like Naomi should have won the match, to be honest.
Oh, this is the beginning of the feud. I really hope because you can keep this going to SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, wait, a SummerSlam match with these two would actually go hard. Wait.
But that's when I mean, what's coming up in the next few pay-per-views? Backlash, all right.
Money in the Bank, I'm pretty sure, right?
Money in the Bank's coming up, and what you could do is if Jade's in the match, you can have Naomi cost Jade, or vice versa, and you can have another match with them two on one of the next pay-per-views, and then you wrap it up with some kind of like stipulation, like last woman standing, or just all out. Just I don't want to say like death match because they're not going to do that, but like wherever, like a New Jersey street fight or whatever thing that they do that they love to do. I definitely see them having some kind of stipulation match where they start to get like a little bit more violent with each other, and I'm really excited to see how Jade Cargill and Naomi would fight each other like that.
It would be really interesting to see that. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see Blades again.
Ooh.
I mean, she loves wearing them as jewelry. I'd love to see her actually blade, dude. That'd be pretty fire.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool to see the return of it.
Dang, bro, Lucy Blade?
I'm a big fan. Lucy Blade, come on the pod.
Big fan.
We're big fans of GCW. We're fans of honor wrestling over here. All right. Are we ready for the next match?
Yeah, next match.
All right, we had LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Alpha Werewolf.
No, he's not the Alpha Werewolf. He's just the Samoan Werewolf.
Jacob Fatu told his kittens to back up and things are going to get wild.
Excuse me?
Call it the Wild Samoans, brother.
Jacob Fatu, he didn't mean that. He means no disrespect. Please don't kill him. But yeah, dude, I was really excited for this match too.
We all knew Jacob was going to win because it's Jacob Fatu, but I knew my man was especially going to win after that moonsault into a BFT. Like, and he managed to just kicked out
dude.
that joint, dude.
Dude, that I was very surprised. And props to LA Knight. I want to see him in the main event scene now. I mean, like we were talking about earlier with the like having the mid card titles and just before you go into the main event scene. I think he's ready for the main event scene now. I mean, he's not getting any younger, no offense to him, but every time you give him something, he's gonna turn it into gold, dude. Every single time.
Absolutely, he's one of the best.
I just hope they book him like decently well with with like a championship of that nature, you know? Because I mean, both of his U.S. runs, well, specifically his first one, I mean, wasn't really all that. He lost it to Shinsuke out of nowhere. That didn't really do much, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
That's
there was
true.
reasons for it, but
That run kind of fell flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like the equivalent of it reminded me of when Jinder Mahal beat who did he beat for it? Randy Orton for the WWE Championship back in 2017, and
do not remind me of that. I
God,
wasn't
what a
even
time
watching
that
wrestling.
was, dude.
That was in my wrestling break, and I still got mad when I found that out, dude.
Nah,
Like,
bro,
no.
I was fully back into the bit with wrestling, and dude, I was almost out in ASAP the moment I saw that.
No. But props to Jacob Fatu, dude. He definitely he's been working his ass off, and he's super over with the crowd. I love him, and I think he's gonna do great things with that title.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see Solo get jealous because Jacob has a championship and this man Solo hasn't seen gold since he was a North American champion.
Let Solo get jealous. Let Jacob Fatu hit him, and then maybe Solo will change his mind.
Dude, that I hate
Jacob
you.
Fatu's
Solo is gonna hit so hard.
I'm waiting for
Jacob's
Jacob
the
to
only
tell
one in
Solo
that
to fall
faction
in
that-
line, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's the only one in that whole group that can wrestle. I mean, one of them's still out injured. Then we've got Tamataga or whoever, the one that just goes, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, he just got hurt too.
Hey, you leave
Ah,
Taz
cool.
out of
So
this,
it's just
man.
Solo and Jacob.
Hey, you leave Taz out of this. I love Taz.
Yeah.
Hey man, at least he's found his bit. Before he was just sitting there quietly.
Yeah,
Bro,
because Broke Curse is too much.
Bro, he was just a YN, just doing YN activities, man.
No, that's
True.
Jacob Fatu. Big dog.
Jacob's gonna be the one to say the N word live on TV one day. I'm
I
here for it.
cannot
I think it'll be
wait.
funny.
I
The day
cannot
he
wait.
does is the day I buy all of his merch.
He'd be the one to get away with it too. Who's gonna tell him no?
I'm just gonna tell him anything, dude.
I mean, shoot, Roman did it.
Clapping, dude.
Roman did
That
it.
motherfucker
He
still-
undertoned that joint. You must be living under a rock. It's such clip. You must be living on the rock or something, nigga.
That motherfucker still smokes cigarettes. He's been to jail. He's probably shanked somebody in jail, man.
Dude, he chooses to still smoke cigarettes, dude. He's a menace to society.
All right, let's talk about Chad El Grande
No.
Americano.
Yeah,
El
he's El
Grande
Grande
Americano
Americano,
versus.
No relations.
No relations.
They're just really good friends.
He just really looks similar versus Rey Mysterio. I'm sorry, wrong Ray. Ray Phoenix, gentlemen. Ray Phoenix.
Dude, props to Ray Phoenix. Bro, gets signed with the company a few weeks ago. Has two really banger matches on SmackDown. And then he gets to go on, 3. And then he gets to go fight in his first WrestleMania, dude. I mean, props to him.
And then losing in a SmackDown way possible. Like we're back in 2011. I love it.
Hey, man.
No sarcasm, actually.
El Grande Americano. He just finds his way to win. And
Dude,
whether it's a little plate in his mask or by hitting some 450 thing that I haven't seen before, because that was insane.
That wasn't a 450 though. That was barely a 360.
You're not wrong. I think I'm just going off what I think they called it. That shit was crazy though. Regardless,
It was crazy. It was a crazy match. I very much enjoyed the whole match.
I understand Rey Mysterio was supposed to be the one that like took the L on this, but man,
Hey, this
I don't
leaves
think
it
it's
up
gonna
as
hurt.
open though.
Phoenix looks kind of goofy losing like that. I can't lie.
I don't think it's gonna hurt Phoenix in the long run, though.
No,
I
I
really don't.
not.
genuinely hope not. Because I know Panda Sauce isn't gonna,
Nah.
but it's just like like when you compare the losses, it's like I hope that doesn't give any major setbacks.
I don't
Yeah.
think it will. He's got a
I
big
don't-
enough name that he's gonna take off. I mean, he proved it. He still put on a hell of a fight there, even though he probably knew he was gonna lose.
True that. Not much to really talk about. It's quote unquote inoffensive match because people are still mad about the El Grande Americano character. I mean, hey man, he. I've been trying to tell people like, dude, El Grande Americano, right? He came from like a slightly revived Lucha Underground. I don't know what everyone's talking about, dude.
And with this, we can't miss the whole signing of AAA, because now we have access to Vikingo. I think that's how you say his name. And oh my God, give me him in a wrestling ring, in a WWE ring right now.
What's
He
gonna
was
say?
there. He almost got into the fight. He almost jumped that ring.
All right, edit this out. Can we treat AEW like a slur and just like beep it out every
A
time we say it?
slur.
That would be so fucking funny. The AEW episode is the episode that fucking Devin's not on.
Next up, we have Tiffy time
Whoa,
versus,
whoa, dude, you
versus
alright
Charlotte
there?
Flair. Bro.
Probably. Oh,
Gotta say,
no, man.
her
This match was
entrance, though,
rough.
her entrance was cool. Her coming out in a Barbie doll, like as a Barbie doll with two other Barbie dolls next to her as like the TVs, like her on the TVs was cool. I thought that was cool. I like the whole stage of WrestleMania this year. I thought the tower in the background was cool.
My
I
only
loved how they
critique was
had
how
people all
whack
up in there too,
the
dude.
pyro. My only critique was how whack the pyro was because of like how tall and like the landscape of it was.
I mean, yeah. But I think if the people weren't up there and the people weren't on the stage on the sides either, then you could have had a little bit more crazier pyro. But they made it work anyway. I mean,
I saw some people got to go onto there for free because they had to open up some seats for lighting in the
yeah.
stadium, and so they moved them to the top of the stage for free.
That's
They had
crazy.
personal waiters and their personal porta potties up there. Like they had their own bathrooms. I was like,
That's crazy.
those are the best seats in the house, dude. Like you get to look below you to see them walk out. You get to see the ring right there.
And even still with that, like you still get to see the entire match.
Yeah. And like you're not far away at all. You're relatively close to the stage. Unlike some
Yeah.
people in that stadium. I don't know why you would get like the nosebleeds in that stadium. What are you seeing? They look like ants from up there. You could barely see the TV.
What do you see?
Yeah, they really kind of shafted the other people that were sitting in like the nosebleeds and everything. I mean, perhaps to you, if I'm going to WrestleMania, I'm gonna get whatever seats I can. But like, if I get there and I can't even see the screen, and I just paid like however much to go sit up in the nosebleeds, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Yeah.
I'll probably start watching on my phone, download Peacock, shout out, and just start watching it there. But I mean, at least I'm there.
Sponsor us.
Please
Sponsor us, please. Sponsor us, please.
Peacock, please sponsor us.
But dude, Tiffany and Charlotte
Oof.
were killing each other. Like there is
Actually, that
actual
was the
heat
steepest
there.
fight I've seen in a while.
It was
Yeah.
the stiffest, but it wasn't the prettiest either, dude.
No. I mean, Tiffy walked away with a broken tooth.
And I loved the before and after of how disheveled her hair was after that, all the like the bruising and stuff on her face and everything.
Absolutely. That was such a funny shot. Like that was a real fight for a little bit there.
Oh yeah. I mean,
get-
don't talk shit about Ludwig Kaiser, big dog. He's the one man that was accused of cheating that no one believed that he did it. I know for sure he. Why would he do that?
I genuinely feel like because of like the the little rumors and stuff surfacing from like prior to match, I don't feel like they're gonna work together again, dude. I feel like that was just a one and done Supreme 100.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, nah. There's no way.
Good. Even I'm not gonna lie, part of me really felt like there was gonna be like some extreme levels of sandbagging, like when Thunder Rosa got accused of sandbagging during her title reign type of level. Where I just thought Charlotte was gonna go into business for herself and be like, "Nah, f you. This championship, mine now."
Cruz
I have
is
a
trying to beat her
feeling-
dad.
Yeah, I have a feeling or Charlotte would have done that, but there was gonna be hell to pay when she got backstage because
Okay,
there was
but
no
like, do
way
you think
that
she
they
would
were
have
gonna let.
cared though?
No,
The
because
fans would not have liked it either.
yeah, because at the same time they are there for the fans, and it's a whole different timeline because before there was Charlotte would still get some kind of cheers every now and again. I mean, granted, most of it is booze, but when she lost control so far, so much in Chicago, when she had to go like Tiffany, it's squeaky, it's squeaky. What are you saying, Tiffany? Like that is the most like second grade BS like insult that you can pick up from. And this woman is a 14-time champion. I mean, her dad is Ric Flair. Like, really, that's all you got? I mean, Tiffany's a rookie for crying out loud for the most part.
I
Come
mean,
on.
She
if
started
we're
in
talking wrestling
24.
abilities, at least
Yeah.
Charlotte still has it over Tiffany because I will say if it genuinely felt like Charlotte, carried the match, which I'm not disrespecting Tiffany. It's just that's just like how much longer Charlotte's been in the ring and like that type of feel.
Yeah.
But
But
man,
it would be like us going against like Cody Rhodes. Cody or Seth Rollins. They are going to carry that match because we don't know what we're doing.
They've got the in ring skill and experience.
I really
They're
feel
absolutely
like
gonna have to take the lead on that fight and somehow make, like in Tiffany's situation, make Tiffany look better while also trying to keep yourself looking good.
I just feel like
Yeah.
all of this could have been avoided had Charlotte just not made a sudden or not sudden like an announced return at the Rumble and then proceeds to win that said Rumble. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all of this
Yeah,
could have been
absolutely.
easily avoided
Mm,
because we know we'll get into the night two shenanigans, but this is why this just like further reinforces why people just can't stand Charlotte. It's like she's being handed opportunities. She came back and already got a title shot. You know what I'm
I
talking
def-
about?
I don't think it would have
man,
been
I
as
totally
bad.
agree.
Absolutely. I don't think it would have been as bad if it was like a surprise return though. I hate when they're just like, "Oh, I mean when they did it for Cody Rhodes a few years ago, I mean after his torn pec. They could have I mean we all knew he was coming back in the Rumble anyway. There was not a soul there that was going to hold him back. I mean even if he wasn't 100% healthy. Bring back the surprise Rumble, things like Alexa. That was crazy. You could have done the same thing with Charlotte and if she had won, granted, people were still going to be upset, but I don't think it would have been as bad.
But it just feels like it's just genuine like championships after championships. And I mean, I understand. It's like that's Ric Flair's daughter. I get it. I definitely I understand why people are like very much fatigued at like oh it feels like Charlotte always has a championship or always has a feud revolving around the championship. You know what I'm saying?
She is
Got a
one that I
certain
would love to
someone,
see. Sorry, you're good.
say sort of like a certain someone named Rhea Ripley,
Sort of
who is
like
only near championship matches.
another someone we're gonna talk about soon that gets called Hogan.
Becky?
Oh, Becky Hogan. Oh my gosh, what?
But Charlotte Flair debuted on the WWE's main roster on July 13th, 2015, along with Becky Lynch and the formerly known Sasha Banks. As part of the Divas Revolution.
Sasha Banks, a porn star?
Dog.
Excuse me? No, she's Mercedes Monet or Money. I don't know how to say her name, but she is in the other rival company, AEW.
I thought you were about to say like
Oh
a slur,
yeah,
brother.
that slur.
Yeah.
Like AEW. I thought you were about to say it like that.
No, I got no hate for AEW. No shame.
As a enjoyer of AEW, I definitely have my criticisms. We'll get there when we talk about it though, so it's all right.
Now, the main event for night one. Oh my god.
Before we talk about the main event, can we talk about the video packaging though?
I was about to because as a lover of This Fire Burns, there were almost tears in my eyes when I got to see my boy CM Punk in his prime going crazy with This Fire Burns. He doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, his addiction is wrestling. And dear God, I was brought back to like 2009, 2010 watching CM Punk on the main roster just go crazy with his little lip ring and everything, bro. I was so excited to hear that song again.
Dude, I almost got pissed off when I saw the Living Color on stage, dude.
And they still sound fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, that was still a good. That was still a good performance too. I enjoyed that bit.
Definitely the best. Easily the match of night one. Some people
Oh,
say match of the
absolutely.
whole Mania, which I say is definitely up there.
With the
Absolutely.
twist at the end, it was such a good match.
For those that didn't see it, Paul Heyman did the double betrayal, by the way. It was crazy.
His best friend and his tribal chief betrayed. One night, one ring, one set of chairs.
Both sets of
And
balls hit
and
by Paul Heyman's hand.
And I don't know if y'all ever noted the detail whenever he low blowed Punk, my man was crying like, "Look what you made me do!" But then when it came to Roman, oh dude, you could tell he's way. My man
He,
turned a gambit. He's like, "Oh, I've been waiting a long time for this."
You know how long I've been waiting for this? I'm about to
he,
make a name for myself
he,
here.
he was hitting all up in his junk too. He just
It
hit
Bro,
was
CM Punk once. He was wriggling his arm in Roman's junk. That was personal.
my man was
Years of
really defeating
abuse.
Roman's reigns, dude.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out Christian Miracle.
Dude, he was like, forget your island of relevancy. You're on the island of isolation now, big dog. Get out.
I just wonder, like, I'm not saying I'm completely against Seth and the Paul and well now Braun. I just
Hey, we're not
wonder
there
what
yet,
was
dude. Come
the.
on, come on. Sorry.
I'm just wondering, like, what's the point? You know, like, those two, like I said, I'm not against it. I don't know, like, what's the thought process here? They didn't really seem like two people that really like can benefit off of each other, unless this is supposed to be like some ultimate story where Roman finally beats Seth 1-on-1 type of thing, like way down the line. You know.
I think this new group with Paul, sorry, but for folks that didn't see, um, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, or Seth Rollins is the new Paul Heyman guy. But I definitely think that this could be a new evolution style group where Paul and Seth can kind of lead Braun Breaker into bigger and better things. And don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of like ideal like kind of fan casting for who they want as the other people in that group. I've seen some people say they want Bailey in that group. I think that would be pretty fire. But I've seen people say that they want Austin Theory in there and maybe even Grayson Waller. But I wouldn't mind seeing either Carmelo Hayes or Fraxium in there because Seth Rollins already has the thing with Nathan Frazier. And if you put Fraxium in there, oh my god, they're gonna go insane. And you give them Paul Heyman's guidance, and even if you put Carmelo Hayes, dude, it's a win-win.
Nathan Frazier could be Seth's little disciple again, like Buddy Murphy was back then.
Yeah, and I mean Austin Theory was formerly a disciple of the Monday Night Messiah, if you remember.
I don't actually. I really don't.
That was when Buddy Murphy was there, and I don't know if you remember the clip of Montez Ford jumping over the ropes and just landing back first on the little plate on the ramp.
Yeah, yeah.
Austin Theory was supposed to catch him in that moment.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Oh.
no disrespect to Austin Theory by any means. He just had a little slip.
Oh damn! I didn't know it was like that.
Uh huh. And then he went back to NXT for a little bit. I have no idea why though. But I definitely think that that group could be kind of crazy,
A banger women's triple threat to open night too, bro.
dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Hot damn, dog.
The chemistry those three have is insane, dude. I'm a big mommy fan. Y'all too know the people listening at home. They don't know anything about me. I'm a big mommy fan. Love her dearly. Bianca too. Brian is the EO fan for everyone on Earth.
All
I
right,
don't
bro.
think
You didn't have to expose me like that, bro.
it's okay, dude. It's okay. But I mean, the chemistry these two have is insane, and they were really going crazy this whole. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to saying this. This is probably the match of the night for night two, besides the Intercontinental title match.
That one was my match of the night. I love that match.
I'm having a hard time kind of putting a match of the night between those two because the results of that one, I'm still so happy about that one, dude. But we're gonna get to that one later.
Shoot, I know what wasn't match of the night, nigga. We'll edit that out. I know what wasn't match of the night.
You okay, Brian?
Yeah.
I won the match though. I mean, I honestly, I wanted Rhea to eat the pin. Don't get me wrong, Rhea fans, don't attack me. Don't leak my address, any of that stuff. I'm sorry. Rhea's had way too much time with the title over the last year, and I do think it was time for a change. I am glad that EO retained. I wouldn't have been opposed to Bianca winning the title either because it has been a while since she's had the main title. But I mean, regardless, whoever was gonna win is gonna do a good job with the title.
I just hope after that match, one of two things happens. One, they kind of just like full send just a heel Bianca turn because people just don't like her or just kind of over her. It feels like now with the consistent boos, even if she was apparently the heel going into that match, I think people are just generally kind of sick of her. Or two, I hope EO finally just like starts having like meaningful feuds where it's just like her and someone else, and she doesn't just feel like a side character, you know? Cause I wasn't really a big fan of how her women's championship like the first time go around, where it like before it was just like her and Bailey. It kind of just felt like she was just there, just holding the
Yeah,
belt like a pride. It reminded me of when Punk was the champion for like that 430 something day run where like yeah he was the big boy champ but he didn't feel like the main character like he was probably supposed to, you know. It
especially
feels
in the
like there's
build
like
up to
other
this
people
match.
that was
Yeah,
like more important than her, the actual big girl champ, you know.
I will say I wasn't a big fan of that leading up to the whole thing. I'm like, they kept trying to like little sis her. I don't want to say little bro because I mean, but like they kept trying to little sis her and like push her to the side, and I'm like, yo, realize Rhea, she just beat you for that title a few weeks ago, and Bianca, you're supposed to go 1-on-1 against her. So like don't underestimate her. She may be shorter, but she's probably I mean, she is the best wrestler out of the three of them. Don't get me wrong. She goes crazy. And
That
I'm a
was the
big
whole
She
fan of
had
storyline.
she had
yeah,
a match against Penta, bro. She knows what
It's,
she's doing.
exactly.
it's to show that she isn't like her first title run. That's the whole point of this title run. Is that she was proving to them that she's not the little sis that could be pushed around, and that's why she was able to win the match.
That's very true.
I mean, we saw it with the on Monday with her fighting Julia. That was a very good match too. Like she's already off to a good start.
Wait,
Well,
Stephanie?
side, or yes, Stephanie.
That was dude. They were going crazy.
Yeah. I'm happy they ended it that way because if one taking the pin on the other would have been bad.
I mean, I was expecting Stephanie to take the pin, but that because I mean she's the NXT champ. She's not on the main roster yet, but she can go with anybody on the main roster too, and can't hang with any of them. Same thing with
I think
Julia.
yeah. I think she needs to be moved up to the main roster. She could really handle it.
Absolutely.
The Sin City Street Fight with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, his fit went crazy in his entrance,
Oh my
dude.
god, dude, it was such a cool entrance. Like, I'm not a big fan of brand deals, but holy shit, that was the coolest one out there. The
Yeah.
fit, the fucking statue, everything. Like, that was such a cool entrance. I'm going out to buy the new Doom right now, pre-ordering it.
I wish the Vikings would have looked that cool in their entrance, dude.
Unfortunately, aside from the ending, that was the only thing I liked about this entire presentation.
Dude, I feel really bad for Damian Priest's brain after that claymore to that chair, dude. Because
Oh my
I know
God,
he
dude.
was seeing lights for a while.
I feel
Dude,
bad for
Damien
both
got
of them
the
because
piss beat out of him.
I feel bad for both of them because I get like I'm sure like creative wanted them in Mania, but it's like the fact that they revisited their feud like this soon, when like it felt like their feud already ran its course like a literal year ago.
I mean, it happens. I mean, they just kind of. I mean, you can't leave a superstar like Drew McIntyre off of Mania after the year he's had, and having feud of the year with CM Punk last year, having match of the year last year with CM Punk and Hell in a Cell. You don't leave your superstar off of Mania like that. So you got to think of anything that you can do to put him in on the card.
Plus, he deserved this win. He has been taking a lot of L's recently.
Mm-hmm.
He lost a lot of matches. He needed this win, especially with that tap out that he took a couple months ago.
We
That
don't
was
talk
some
about that.
BS.
We
That
don't
was
talk about
awful.
that. It's okay,
Yeah.
dude. He was just bored at work.
It's true.
Bro,
Or that work again.
it's been a
Insert
downhill
selfie here.
spiral. It's been a downward spiral for him ever since that 5-minute reign, dude.
Dude.
I'm hoping he gets another reign soon, dude.
He deserves it. He's such a good wrestler too. Like he can pretty much wrestle with them.
I'm calling it here. Drew's the one that beats Jay for the title.
Please.
I'd be here
goodness.
for it. Him or Braun. I would be fine with either of those two.
Or Seth, honestly, I'm okay with that. I would prefer somebody else over Seth, but I mean, if Seth is the one that beats Jay, that's fine with me too.
No, Seth's got to go on to the main title. He's
That
got
is
to go
true.
for that.
Give me a Seth and Cena feud. Oh my god, revisit back what they used to do, brother. Oh my goodness.
That would be pretty fucking awesome.
Now, you want to get into the next match?
Oh, the Fatal 4-Way, right?
Oh my goodness, I was going into this match rooting for Dom. I'm so happy, brother.
This
Such
may
a
be my
good
match
match.
of the night, to be honest.
It's mine for sure.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. Like Braun was just out there being an animal. He didn't care who he was fighting. He was just an animal backed into a corner. Like, and anybody that was in the way, like God bless them. They needed it.
I do find it funny that Dominic just frog splashed on top of Finn. Wow, who was he pinning? He was pinning Braun, right? And then Dominic's like, bro, F it, I'm pinning Finn.
He was also bored at work, so he's like, let me hit that frog splash real quick.
Dude,
I saw being lined up when he was left on the top of the ropes by Finn after being put down. I'm like, oh, dude, he's coming back. He's gonna win this.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this was Dom's match. It was so good. I'm finally glad they're giving him the push that he needs, and hopefully this will push him to greater heights than Judgment Day. Like I like the Judgment Day, but it's really just like halting his career. Like he could be so much more than just Liv's girlfriend and part of the Judgment Day.
I definitely think that he needed Judgment Day for a long time, but he's kind of outgrown it. I mean, I haven't seen anybody get heat like that. I mean, it was like stronger than nuclear heat, dude. You can't hear that man. And the fact that he went from number one hated man in wrestling to one of the more beloved ones is
the best
insane.
Mysterio, man. The best Mysterio to ever wrestle.
Dude, you're not lying. No disrespect, Ray. We'd love to have you on the pod.
Yo, you mean the deadbeat?
Never going on the podcast now, man.
He's a deadbeat. He was never going to join in the first place.
You're not wrong.
Dom, we have
I still love you.
Dom, we have chicken tenders. We also hate your father.
Oh my god.
Dude, I got chicken tenders. I'll get some for you, big dog.
Anyways, Dom's the greatest IC title holder right now. The greatest of all time.
Really? The greatest of all time? He's better than The Miz already, dude?
Already, dude.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Dude, did the Miz ever fight Penta? No, hold on.
Coming on that show.
Did the Miz ever fight Penta for in his first defense? I don't think so. No, he never did.
Going on, right? We have.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. We have Randy Orton versus. Hold on. We're gonna fix this on editing. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where the fuck is it?
By we, he means you.
I can't wait to fix that because oh my gosh, brother, the timing couldn't have been more off.
I'm sorry.
All right, now, as much as hype as we were seeing it, right?
Hmm.
Y'all know people are upset about this.
I
Absolutely,
don't,
but they're not looking at it from a Joe Hendry standpoint. They're looking at it from an IWC standpoint.
dude. Jesus himself could have come down. Buddha himself, regardless of who you believe in, they could have come down. It could have been Jeff Hardy. It could have been anybody. It could have been Rusev or
Yo,
Aleister Black.
speaking of Jeff Hardy,
What's up?
he was one of the people originally pitched
Yeah,
to fight Randy, but Randy himself wanted to fight Joe.
I'm like that goes leaps and bounds towards Jeff. I mean, towards Joe Hendry, considering that Randy Orton, one of the legends of this industry, handpicked you to fight to be as your as his opponent. Like everyone else can shut up because Randy Orton picked his opponent for this match, and he picked Joe Hendry. So you can argue with the damn wall because it was a great moment right there.
Damn.
A TNA champion was featured on WrestleMania. When is the last time you were ever going to see that, dude?
Never. You're never going to see that.
I just
Exactly.
feel like people are really upset because they think because like with the match being like 3 minutes, it was like kind of just like a huge squash to TNA. Make people was like making it seem like oh TNA is just like a very much inferior company where like the top guy couldn't last like 5 minutes against like Randy Orton who's like
It's Randy, the
It's
legend
Randy
killer,
Orton.
on his 20th anniversary of WrestleMania. I don't understand why people don't get that. He wasn't going to lose that match ever in a million years. They
No.
were having Randy win that shit. If it was going to be him and KO was walking out with a broken neck. Like,
His head was going to be in the bleachers, in the fucking nosebleeds, dude.
yeah.
He was going to
like,
be punted that hard.
no matter what, they were like somebody was getting squashed. They had so many matches that night. It wasn't going to matter. Like, it had to happen.
I like to think of this as a moment of like getting more eyes on TNA, despite the top
Exactly.
champion being like,
Exactly.
squashed. I wouldn't say he's completely buried because he has his own issues to worry about in his actual brand.
Yeah, but this was a great showing for Joe Hendry, and he got his WrestleMania moment. I mean, he's not even in the company, and he had like the third most viral moment last year whenever he debuted on NXT. Like, are you serious? That's insane numbers, dude. I mean, like most people can only dream of having like being a viral sensation like that, and he has worked his ass off for that. So, props to him, dude. Pat. Joe Hendry deserves to pat himself on the back, dude, because he's worked his ass off for that.
Absolutely. Like he deserves it out of everybody.
Now,
I would get to
Matt-
the worst match of the entire weekend, bro.
Matt cannot comment on this match because he was not conscious for this match.
That is, I watched a good chunk of it. I watched a good chunk, but it was so damn boring to me that I fell asleep during it. Like, it was just not interesting.
All right.
No disrespect to AJ Styles, but like, it was just mid. The whole match was just not good.
I was expecting a lot more from the match too. I'm not gonna lie to you, Logan Paul. You're good, but like, big dog, I'm sorry.
Logan Paul,
We coming
you're
for
in
you.
Japan.
Stop! You cut that shit out right now.
I'm good.
Logan Paul, you're a talented wrestler, brother. You really are. But when people are booing you, they're not booing you to generate heel heat. They just don't like you.
You've kind of messed your career up.
Dang,
But it's
dang,
okay.
Dang,
Yeah.
You're a
Prime
talented
sponsors.
wrestler.
We're gonna cut out that entire bit, by the way, Brian. Have fun editing.
Rip the Prime sponsor, nigga. There goes our chances.
All right, next match.
That's how blatantly we're just skipping over. That's how
Man,
bad
talk
it was.
about
We're just
I
gonna
was asleep.
skip over.
Dude, I have nothing to say about no
But
disrespect,
the
but I
Karrion
mean,
Cross point. There
Dude,
was that.
we didn't even
Karrion Kross,
talk about. We didn't even talk about the actual match. We just like really say that like how much we're a fan we are of AJ Styles. Like we don't mean any sort of disrespect.
all right, we can start the match. Start the thing with the match here. The match wasn't terrible. It really wasn't.
I'll take your word for it.
It could have been a lot worse. It really could
Don't
have.
take his word for it.
It was just not a fun match for me. I didn't understand the carrying part because I was asleep. All of a sudden, he was on my TV, and then I fell back asleep.
It was because I'm pretty sure he talked to AJ or something. You know how that goes when
Oh, I do
Karrion
remember
talks to
that part.
someone. You know
Oh,
how
well,
that goes when Karrion talks to someone. Something funky happens later.
I mean, we gotta have to. I would say thank Carrion, but one of Logan Paul's little guys, I don't know what you want to call him, was trying to sneak the brass knuckles into the ring, and Carrion caught him. And I don't know if Scarlett was there too, but I mean, big shouts out to Scarlett. But Carrion ended up stopping the thing, but he could not stop Logan Paul from beating AJ Styles, sadly.
I love how we're shouting people out. No one knows who we are, man.
Hey,
Fine.
don't think like that.
They don't know who we are yet, Brian.
So, next match. I'm assuming Pimp, you were asleep during this next match too, right?
Absolutely. I didn't even know Becky came out until after I woke up at the end.
Bro,
All
dude,
right,
spoilers.
Well, yeah, man. Spoilers. Now I gotta cut that out, man.
Bro,
You have to like bleep her name out. So, we
So-
have Liz Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the women tag team champions, versus Lyra Valkyria, the Bird Woman, and a mystery tag team partner because Bailey was injured before Mania.
I wonder who jumped her.
Charlotte.
I'm about to turn to The Rock for a second. Yeah, so Bailey wasn't even injured. We actually texted her, tell her if she could just not show up to Mania at all, real
All right, big
quick.
dog. Brian, I love you, bro. I don't need you being a bald fraud. Okay, come on.
I'm a-
But
And
spoiler
then-
alert: Becky Lynch came out.
no.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
But in all seriousness, I have a very I feel like it's a very genuine criticism, piece of criticism for this match. What the hell was the point of this match happening if Liv and Raquel losing the championship Sunday just for them to regain it back the literal Monday? You could have just had the heel turn then and there. On some SummerSlam shit. And I just have an issue altogether with Becky's return. See, cause this is what I feel like people give Charlotte shit about her returning for a title. Bro, Becky just came back and no build up, nothing. She just walked in all right,
Double
I'm the
standard,
champion.
man. It's
Hey,
a
man.
double standard, dude. People just I don't
This
get
ain't
it.
the first
Both
time
the
she's
same.
done this.
You know, Becky only came back because she was gonna get a title. That's the only reason why she signed the contract again.
Or
Bro.
Becky probably didn't even do anything about it. Their Triple H was like, you know what? Here's you're gonna get the title whenever you come back at Mania. It's fine.
Or no,
Because she was
apparently-
originally supposed to come back in January for Netflix, and they just haven't been using her at all.
Dude, this just literally brings me back to when she just made her return on SummerSlam when Bianca was champ, and then just absolutely embarrassed the poor girl, winning I got
27
shades
seconds or whatever.
I got shades of Sheamus v Daniel Bryan at Mania 28 watching that. I was like, what just happened? What genuinely just happened? I just hated the whole thing, because what was the point? You could have just said, yeah, we're gonna win the tag championships on Mania. Then you just could have turned not Bailey. You could have turned Becky heel right there. Why wait till the Raw after?
Brian, you're
It's so
missing a key
stupid.
point. You're missing a key point of this, okay? Becky told Lyra at some point last year, "Hey, protect your knees. Wear knee pads." However long later, Lyra Valkyria has still not worn knee pads. Her crash out was justifiable, okay?
Are you
It's
telling me
understandable.
Are you telling me Becky Lynch turned heel because Lyra didn't wear knee pads?
I wouldn't hate it, honestly, brother. Have you seen her knees after the matches, bro? She needs to start wearing them. I mean, think about your future.
So what if she wants to cosplay as Seth Rollins? Let Lyra do her own thing.
I mean, I want to see her have a long and fruitful and fortuitous career, all right? I don't even know if those are words, all right? I want to see her have a long, good career full of titles because she's a talented wrestler.
I mean, she was already a double champ. Didn't make sense, but okay.
I mean,
So
inaugural women's intercontinental champion, double champ with Becky Lynch. I mean, that's an accolade in itself too. It doesn't matter how long the reign is for.
It's true.
And she's also beat Becky for the NXT title, which is insane, an insane accolade as well.
shoot, I mean, at least it lasts longer than Drew's world title reign. Well, who said that, dude? Who said that?
And then props to Liv and Raquel. I love Liv Morgan. Raquel is also pretty cool too.
Raquel put in some work
She
to
really
get
was.
those titles back.
Bro, she has a back.
Stop it. Stop it. Insert gif of Raquel's back here.
yo, she has a back, bro. So is it time? Is it time where we talk about that match?
Unfortunately,
Main event?
sir.
Yeah.
Now this match was hyped up to be so fucking good, and this is what was delivered to us.
The promos were better than this, dude. Come on.
Dude, no
Brother.
video packaging, no colors, no hunky dory, just straight black and white. We got
Medicine.
Cena like just being like let me stop. Just being that guy, dude. I was excited. Maybe it's just the kid in me that was like that had so much expectations, but dude, the match sucked.
It was so bad. Like Cody beat him 2 times in that match. If it wasn't for bullshit, 2 times he would have got a 3 count.
Yeah. And then, but hey, we got to hear Fiend, all right?
I hope to God
bless
we
Nobody
never
give a
hear
damn
Fiend
about
again.
Fiend.
no, dude, bless the fucking Lord, because we don't have to hear Fiend ever again in a wrestling ring, in a
Dude,
wrestling arena.
When the ref got knocked over, I was so hyped because I was just thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is where the match really kicks off, right? And then we hear Travis Scott's theme, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening. Why is he walking slow to the Undertaker entrance? It's happening.
I was ready to see that receipt that he was supposed to be getting from Cody Rhodes, dude, because he hit the mess out of him at
Yeah,
Elimination
that
Chamber.
man was fucking. He didn't know at all that. That man actually punched Cody's lights out.
I just
He did not get that memo. The Rock
This
forgot to CC him on that one.
man, this whole thing was just, oh my gosh, it was one thing with Gunther, I guess. Dude, they made Cody look like an actual imbecile, brother. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
was so bad for Cody. Like, I feel so bad. Like, that was such a shit match to lose your title to.
Not even
Yeah.
an AA? Like, really? Like, I don't care if Cena say he's ruining wrestling. Nah, nigga. Oh my goodness, we'll bleep it out. But who booked this crap, man?
Dude, I don't know. Like, it was
Like,
bad.
we're talking about Cody Rhodes, the man who beat like Roman Reigns, who was trying to cosplay as Bruno Sammartino with the way he had those championships, right?
Yeah.
It took this man 2 years. He finished the story. He had his Rocky moment. He was like, "I did it!" Right?
Yeah.
And then you're telling me a distraction from Travis, from some rapper, a kick in the balls, and a headshot with a belt. That's it. Not even an attitude adjustment, really?
I got a bone to pick with Cody Rhodes, though, okay?
Oh yeah, talk your smack. Talk your smack.
All right, Cody, look, no disrespect. I cried when you won the title last year and you finished your story, big dog, because I know how much it meant. I understand. Your daughter was sitting ringside with Brandy, and the shot after the match, whenever you were supposed to be interviewed, I think it was by Kathy Kelly. Your daughter was nowhere to be seen. She is still in that arena. Why did you leave her there?
Brother.
What the hell? What the hell, big dog?
Brother, listen, he had much bigger problems on his mind than his daughter.
He knows his
Go
parameter.
get your
His
daughter.
parameter is himself.
That's not his fault. That's his wife's fault. His wife left her. He didn't know. He was just got done getting his ass kicked.
He
Bro,
did know. He held her before the match started.
Yes, but you know, who had the one in primary charge of that daughter was his wife, and she left her.
we're critiquing the real issues here when it comes to
That
Mania.
is a real issue, big dog. I saw so many people complaining about it online. I'm
Wait,
asking the real
really?
question. Yes.
Who complained about that? What
It
is
was like,
wrong
where
with
is her
you?
daughter?
It's the IWC. They're gonna complain about anything.
Dude,
You're
I
gonna
never
notice, like,
see that,
you
bro.
blink, you blink with your right eye instead of your left. They're gonna be like, oh, left means right eye means heel turn. Oh my god.
Oh
And
my gosh, touch grass. No, man.
but I am excited to see Cody's. I mean, I know Cody's gonna take some time off because I mean he was the quarterback of WWE for a while. But
The IWC ain't gonna like that.
Let him come back as Stardust.
No,
dude, I am excited to see, and I am really looking forward to see who he becomes because ever since he came back in 2022, I think it was right. Um,
yeah.
uh, his entire thing has been I have to finish the story, and then
They
after that,
have to finish the story.
exactly. And that was his one goal. Okay, you finished your story last year. You had the 300 and I think 78-day title reign. Correct me if I'm wrong. But now, seeing you lost your title, and I know you're gonna take some time off, and you absolutely have earned it. But I'm excited to see what he does in the future, where he doesn't have any title, and he doesn't have a story to finish anymore. What is he gonna do now?
You
Turn
know,
heel.
there is a wrestling YouTuber that I started watching recently called CJax525, right? And he made a comment regarding Cody that he that it took me a minute to really process. I was like, oh my gosh, he may be cooking. He said that Cody Rhodes, like right now, he's just a mid carder, like disguising himself as a main eventer. And
You
I ain't
know,
gonna lie, he kind of cooked with that. I can't lie.
he's not wrong because don't get me wrong. I mean, Cody is a great wrestler.
He felt bigger before he had the championship. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Like when he got the championship, like yeah, hell yeah, you finally won. You beat you finished your story. Why was the reign itself kind of ooh?
They had some banger matches, but fucking sorry.
I was just
Solo and all of the bloodline kind of ruined it.
I was so
And
disappointed with him and AJ. I'm not gonna lie. Like the match in France was good, but then it's just like it kept going. It's like oh, okay,
that still is one of
yeah.
my favorite matches in his thing. That crowd was nuts, dude.
It just I don't know, man. I don't want to completely knock him because I am happy that he finally like he came back after like I mean I would leave too if you tell me I had to be Stardust. But then it's like
Yeah.
it just kind of felt like nothing kind of really. There wasn't anything that brought more excitement after he won the title.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So part of me just wonders if and I know Cody has this thing about not wanting to be healed. That's kind of like been his shtick ever since AEW was like a thing. He doesn't want to be healed, but unfortunately, that's kind of like that's not the reality he's gonna have to be living in pretty soon. I fear.
I want to see this man heal because I've heard stories of him on the Indies being a heel, and I've seen videos.
Oh, dude, him and Ring of
And
Honor
they're funny.
at TNA, yo, he's
Dude,
funny as
please.
hell, bro.
He
I
dropped
want
the
to see
F-bomb a
Cody
lot.
Lander. I love the
Cody Lander was so
fucking die. I love that
yeah,
video.
that video was so fucking funny. I like that one and and none of us drink alcohol here, and he's just sipping a beer and puts it down.
He like hides it from the table or whatever.
Yeah.
I believe we'll see some form of a heel Cody soon. I just feel like it'll just take a minute before we actually get there.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Like I know the Rock Man himself wanted to spoil it, talking about maybe we can revisit the story down the line where Cody gives me his soul. It's like okay, why are you obsessed with souls?
For it to go nowhere like he did with John Cena.
Yeah. Exactly. Just don't
Shit's
just
so
don't even mention
stupid,
him
man.
afterwards. Oh, that stuff with The Rock? Yeah, just pretend it didn't happen. Actually, retcon it.
I only did it for ticket sales. I wasn't actually going to go to WrestleMania. I didn't want to take the thunder from.
I was still
Those are
playing.
Dwayne,
I
you
was,
bald fraud.
I was still playing with my Rubik's Cube with my New Japan shirt on.
Yeah.
Actually,
I saw somebody say that he wasn't leaving his house until he finished the Rubik's Cube, which, from the looks of that video, he's not figuring that shit out anytime soon.
nah, that's crazy.
He needs to go call my boy Jack to get that shit figured out, big
Oh
dog.
my
It's
gosh.
not hard to solve a Rubik's cube. There's a pattern that you do. Like, I don't know why him sitting there looking at it, pondering it like it's an orb of knowledge that he's got to figure out.
Bro, what if
Like,
it was Kevin
it's
the
not
Cube?
hard.
Dude, because Dwayne has everything like handed to him, bro, and he had to figure it out himself. No disrespect, Dwayne. I know you could kill me with your bare hands, but like, am I wrong though?
He did build himself up, though. He has put in the work, but now he's just coasting on just his fame, his name. Like, he's just like, oh, I could just show up and get ticket sales. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. He doesn't care about the fans. He just wants his money.
This is about to go from a wrestling talk segment to a whole Dwayne The Rock Johnson rant session, dude.
Yeah, let's name this podcast the Dwayne The Rock Johnson Snark Page.
The ball fraud expose channel.
That's so fucking funny.
Oh, dude. Gentlemen, is that all we wanted to get out of our systems?
I mean, I think we pretty much covered a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's tell everyone bye. Bye.
Bye,
All right.
everybody. Thanks for listening. Tune in next time.
Absolutely. We should be talking about the Raw After Mania in the next video.
We ain't talking
thank
about
you.
the Raw After Mania.
We are going to talk about the Raw After Mania if I have to force you to. Okay, come on.
I mean, as a gag.
Come on, big dog.
We will duct tape you to a chair.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.